All right, welcome back to another episode of Wanna Bet.
Right? It wasn't bad though, right?
The sake?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Surprisingly sneaky.
Yeah, it is. It snuck up on me.
Yeah.
It snuck up on me.
What was that? I see on our board of ideas, we were having sex with a minor. Is that something you wanted to bring up? Like,
No, not. Oh, okay, he called me out. This is not for me.
Okay.
I saw an article, and this is one of the things that goes against like this podcast for not having like a video background of like what we're talking about or whatever. But I mean, it's in the news. You can look it up. But there's in Bedshire, I guess that's United Kingdom, my peoples. But I'm not claiming this instance.
Yeah,
right?
maybe not claim your people on this.
Right. Apparently a woman was just found not guilty for
Not guilty?
she was found not guilty for sleeping with a 14-year-old boy. And it seems like it's only one-sided.
Yeah, once
on
you
this, right?
Once
but
you
like
flip the
you have to judge it by looking at the person. Like obviously if the woman's a slob, she's going to jail. Like that's just it's always been a fact. It's normally like teachers seducing a child in high school or whatever. But apparently she saw these guys playing football and she had to have that dick. So turns out the boy was 14 and she was 32. So it was just a pretty strange story. She was found not guilty.
Nice.
Yeah. A jury of 7 men and 4 women.
Shocker.
Yeah. Right. But I don't know the UK system. I don't know if that's like
if it's the same
parliament or whatever.
It's
right?
not parliament. It's 100% not parliament. Well, actually, when I was in middle school, I had a guidance counselor who slept with a few of my friends in middle school.
No.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I swear to God. I won't say her name on air, but I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. So she slept with a few of my buddies. But before,
why weren't you one of them?
So this is all right. This is the whole story encapsulated.
Break it down.
During those years, my parents were splitting up. They were going through divorce, and my mom, I guess, reached out to the school and just was like, "Hey, if he's a little like moody, blah blah blah, we're going through a divorce." So the school wanted to set me up with a guidance counselor. So I went to see this.
Getting deja vu.
I went to see this lady who's like,
besides the sexual art,
in her like mid-20s, the late 20s. And she was like, she sat me down. We talked like every week. She was really close to me. And she was just like, I thought like a really sweet lady. And then like I found out one day, I was like, we were hanging after school. My house was right by the school, and so were all my friends, and we were all gonna play football afterwards. And my buddy, I want to say his name, but I can't. He was like, nah, I'm gonna hang here a bit in the parking lot. And I was like, what do you mean? Let's go play some football. He's like, no, I'm gonna fuck the guidance counselor. I was like, what? Like I was so at that age, I was like, what? And he was like, and one of the other kids was like, hey, can I?
What grade were you?
This is 8th grade. No, that was in the 7th grade. I was in the 7th grade.
Middle school.
Yeah, because these guys were a year older than me. And two of my friends railed her out in her car in the parking lot of my school. And like, they did it for a while. And so I stopped seeing her as a guidance counselor when I figured that out, because I was like, am I being
targeted?
Like, it's like she buttering me up. And at that age, I was like, no, like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, so at home, they're like, are you still seeing the guidance counselor? I'm like, I don't need that. It's fine. You guys are getting a divorce. Like, I don't need to see this crazy lady anymore. So she transferred schools and went to a high school that my best friend went to. She had sex with a student there and got caught. And then it became this whole thing. And she served like, I think like a year and a half, and was on like probation and stuff. But she was my middle school guidance counselor, and she would get railed at by middle school boys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then she went to high school and got her some
like
older
you hear those stories, and it's like it seems to like the school shootings went away, which was good. But the school sexual assaults went up. It was mostly by women this year.
Well,
and there's a bunch of stories. This isn't anything that I'm making up, but like One one teacher I'm completely blanking on. It was like Colorado, and she had sex with like 5 or 6. It was like she was like, I was a sex addict, but she was married.
Oh yeah, yeah. And her husband didn't know about it. And then he found out she was banging all these students at their house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You can never go around your friends ever again.
No, you have to move and change identity.
It's like, or kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like those are the only two options, dude. Like honestly.
Yeah, that's no, I know that's a horrible.
Yeah.
That this like 14-year-old was doing what you couldn't do,
right?
Because you weren't meeting her or whatever her fantasies or whatever.
Yeah.
That when I was in ROTC in high school, I did 4 years at ROTC, and the guy who was actually in the army, that was like our head guy.
Pauly Shore.
me and him were pretty close. And like my senior year, he was like, I think you got a future in the military if you want to enlist in the military. He says, I think it's a great thing for you to do. And I decided not to do it. And then 3 months later, he got caught fucking a freshman in the in our ROTC closet where we had all our stuff. And I was like, I was going to take advice from that dude who was fucking kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird people out there.
It's very, and like, look, I'm not condoning it. Like it's a double standard, right? Like, like your teacher only got a year and a half. But like if it was a dude, it would have been a lot more.
He got a lot worse.
Yeah. So I'm not condoning it. I don't think it's like a good idea, like at all. To fuck a child. Right. Yeah. Like it's gross, dude. It's gross for that 32-year-old to fuck a 14-year-old. And like, but as a 14-year-old boy, like it's completely different.
Yeah.
Right. Like 100%. I'm not condoning it either way. Like the whole story came out because that was him and his friend got called in there for soft drinks, and she took one of the boys upstairs, but the other boy was like you, I guess, and didn't want anything to do with it. And he told, and that's how they got caught. Tell. So she got off because just to go back and finish up the story, she got off because the boy, his Facebook page said that he was over 18 or whatever the statutory rape law is in the United Kingdom, 17 or 16 or whatever. But when he was 13, he was 14 years old. So when he was 13 or right before he turned 13, he got a cell phone, and to get on the games and stuff like that. 18. Right. So he made that up. So he made up the date on the Facebook page to play the games. And then
it's like the R. Kelly thing.
But then now she's stalking this kid. Like, how did you know his Facebook page? Right. Just for him playing football in your front yard or whatever. It's all around creepy. But the fact that it's a double standard is gross. There's obviously something deeper going on there if you're an adult and you want to sleep with a minor. So
it's just
both sides of it are,
like, I wouldn't even want to sleep with a 20-year-old right now because I just feel like 20-year-olds are so like,
well, you don't have anything in common with them. It's odd.
It's so right? And so to have an age split that's even farther than that, at like a maturity age, you're fucking with a high schooler or a middle schooler. That's
something happened in your lifetime to where that is
where you're holding yourself at.
It's normalized, right? But I think if you're a normal person, like, all right. For example, one of my wife's coworkers, she's like 20 years old and she's a cute little girl and she's funny. And I've hung out with her a couple times with my wife included. I'm not like going out by myself,
hanging out with this 20-year-old.
Yeah. So like, when you're scrolling through Facebook, you just got back on, it'll say people you might know, right? And her name's on there a lot. I just never, sent a friend request to her because, but she sent one to me and I confirmed it like within like a few hours, right? Not like
you put it on the back burner.
Yeah. You
can't do it immediately.
Right away, right? And so like, but I also told my wife too, like Alyssa asked to be my friend on Facebook. And she was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, but like it wasn't anything weird. Yeah. But I told her, I was like, her name's popped up a lot on mine for like the, people you might know. But I just have a weird thing about asking a 20-year-old girl to be my friend on Facebook.
That's fair.
But nothing, you know what I mean? I don't mean anything bad by it or whatever, but I just feel like most adults would agree with me. She has to be my friend. I was like, yeah, cool. We'll be friends. Right. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of also want to message her and say, I'm married. Right. But she knows, but just to make sure that all the bases are covered. There's nothing that's
I told my wife, I told her that I didn't reach out first. You got to check Check. Getting Christmas presents.
Check.
Yes.
All right.
We're
Yeah.
good. We're good. That's pretty good.
Everybody's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Gesundheit.
Yes. Thank you.
How you
I'm glad you found that on our book of secrets, things to talk about, sex with a minor.
Yeah. Something you want to talk about?
Yeah. No,
Sex
not
with
me. Not me. No.
It's pretty good.
No. And now that I have kids, man, I feel like if that, like, even if, you know, God forbid something like that happened, I think that's like a parent's like worst fear is like, you know, we had an art teacher in my high school that like everybody was real suspicious of, you know, like he wore like suits and stuff to school.
The art teacher?
Yeah. Like
that's an odd
like
choice.
this I graduated in 03. The Sopranos was really big in 03,
God.
right? And he's Italian,
Italian art teacher.
good looking guy. He told everybody that he was a bartender at TGI Fridays on
looking back
the weekend.
And looking back on it now, you're like, what a loser.
Yeah, time out. But like, you know, he was he was Ricky Suave, right? You know what I mean? He was like a suave guy, you know. But like the hottest girls in high school were like fresh on this dude, right? So like there was all these rumors or whatever, and you know, like you think about it, right? But it's always the people that you don't think about, like the janitor.
Yeah.
Just swinging that dick, right? You don't know. Nobody knows. Right? It's odd, right? You got to keep an eye out for it, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about that. You watch your kids.
Yeah. I think, you know, you got to let kids be kids. At the same time, the world is a scary place, and any chance that you don't have
well, I mean, it's how
you got to live and learn, right?
Yeah, I mean, how you're raised is how you reacted to it. So, like when that situation happened to me in middle school, I was like, "You're doing what with who?" Like, oh my god!
Yeah.
But him in the house he grew up in and stuff, he was like slapping hands with his dad.
Sure.
It was like, and when it all came out to court and everything, and found out that he had slept with her, they like tried to like issue him a subpoena to head to court to like
talk
against her, and he's like, why would I talk against her?
My son ain't no bitch.
Yeah, no, the kid was saying,
I know he did that, but his dad was backing him up,
his
like
dad,
hold him, hand on the shoulder, like, you're not talking.
No. So,
on the flip side of that, right? We got a few minutes left. We can talk about it. As a teenager, like that's like your biggest dream, right?
Oh yeah,
and
it's
like
a huge fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, there's like a lot of teachers that you may have had in mind who may have graduated a few years earlier. And I'm sure it's both the same for females and males. I don't think this is a one-sided conversation. But like if you had a teacher that you were attracted to when we were going to school, you only knew them at school. Like now you have like a chance to see your teacher's pictures online when she's in Cabo San Lucas in a bathing suit, right? You never had that.
Yes.
You never had an option of that. It was weird if you saw your teacher at the grocery store.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Let alone on Facebook.
Yeah.
Drinking and having a good time and videos of them twerking on what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Right? It's a completely different world. I wouldn't even know where to begin. If I had to go all the way back to high school now, let alone TikTok and try to learn all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But like straight ahead, just being like knowing how to talk to girls, right?
Yeah.
You know, like some of those teachers have OnlyFans account.
Oh, I bet.
So I'd be like breaking into my parents' room, stealing their credit card, whatever I could do to get onto that. But I don't understand. I mean, it's crazy to think about that's an option, you know, that you could see.
Well, there are people,
be there.
you know, I mean, after school, they still have sex. So it's still like, you know, but you're just so used to seeing them in school as your teachers. So you don't think of them like that.
Right.
When I was a senior in high school, we always used to go to Oriole games on Friday nights for like $8. You could get in. We just get really fucked up and go. And our English class had a student aide that went to the University of Maryland. And we ran into her at the game. And we were all drunk and she was all drunk and we like drank with her friends. It was really fun. And then we'd like, school's coming. And then we see her in school and it's just like awkward. Like
nobody talks about it. Never happened.
Varsity Blues when they have the
stripper. I don't want your life. Yeah, it's my favorite movie.
But when the teacher's a stripper and they go to the strip club.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like that, but it wasn't anything as obscene as that. But it was like, I was just like,
because they were in their 30s when they filmed that.
Yeah, but I was like, what do we talk about in school? Like, can we make eye contact with her when we see her anymore?
No,
like,
absolutely not.
No,
she's dead to you.
Yeah, it was so weird though.
Yeah. You're telling your friends, they're like, get the fuck out of here.
No.
Like, no, I'm serious.
Oh, seriously. We tried. She was there.
Yeah. I remember one kid tickled a teacher and she like really laughed at it. And then I tried to do it and she pulled me aside. So we don't touch me like that anymore. It was one of them. I'm kind of almost embarrassed as I was back then, right? But I'm pretty embarrassed now talking about it.
Yeah, that's always when you think something's gonna go good because someone else did it.
You play it out, you're like, yes. It didn't happen like that. Awkward. So awkward.
The one kid who grew up on my street actually reminds me a lot of you. You guys have a lot of similarities with your humor. And when we were in math class in middle school, when our teacher went out in the hallway to talk to someone, he went through her desk and through her purse and found her vibrator.
And her purse at high school, in middle school.
In middle school. And he took her vibrator out and put it on like the podium. Like, do you remember those old? It wasn't a projector, but it was like plastic, and they'd write on the screen.
Yeah.
Do you remember those? Called?
It was still a projector.
Is that that's what it was?
And he just, with the light bulb in it.
Yeah, and it would just spray up. Yeah, they used to be able to write on the marker, but he just put the vibrator on the projector, on like the projector screen. And she came in, dude, and I didn't feel bad, but she started crying. She threw it in her purse, started crying. Oh my god, hilarious! Like, I would never do that, but I'm glad there's people in the world that would do stuff like that. You need those people that are gonna like.
Just so we're clear, I wouldn't do that. Like, compare me to your friend on that is kind of shitty.
No, you guys are very similar.
I spy on people.
No, it wasn't like spying.
Going through somebody's purse is spying.
All right, I'll do a very quick story, and it explains how you guys are very similar.
Please do.
When I lost my virginity, I was like 17 years old.
Me too.
And I was having sex with this girl pretty often. And one time we had sex, and I came inside her. And I got really scared at that age. I was going to get her pregnant.
Right.
And I was like, I need to get the morning after pill.
Sure.
And at that age, you have to be 18 to buy the morning after pill. So I reached out to my friend who was a year older than me, who was on my street. I was like, hey, I need you to buy this morning after pill for me, but please, just don't say anything to anyone. Let's just keep it quiet. I'm scared. So he got me the morning after pill. I got it. I gave it to her. It was all taken care of. I show up to school on Monday, and I walk in the front door, and he's just like, hey, Brennan, did the pill work? Are you gonna have a baby? And I was just like, dude, it's like, I've known this kid my entire life. He was one of my closest friends, but he thought it was fucking hilarious.
It's really funny.
Oh, it's not. No, see, you guys are the same fucking people.
It's really funny.
No, because I would have just helped a friend out and been quiet, but he was like, no. Listen, yeah, I would. He was like, I helped you out, but I gotta get my fun out of it somehow. And you guys are the exact same way in that accord.
But you don't have a story like me about that.
Thank God. Yeah, I'm a grown up now. I don't need a morning after pill anymore.
I wouldn't buy one for you anyway.
Oh, yeah, I was scared. You would have.
I had a scare like that too.
Yeah. Luckily, dogs can't get pregnant.
Stuffed animals.
Yeah, well, those can.
Yeah. Cats can.
Can't milk them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. Okay. Anything with nipples. Talk about somebody's acting career that went downhill. You know,
Robert De Niro?
Yeah. 2 bad grandpas.
There's 2 of them?
Yeah. Google it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of Robert De Niro.
Raging Bull? It's a good movie.
I didn't really like it. It was black and white. I don't like a lot of black and white movies.
I mean, it takes you back.
Well, it was like black and white. It didn't have to be black and white. I don't like those.
Schindler's List. Schindler's List is a black one.
Is it weird to say? Yeah, but you can't say you like that movie. Yeah, I like Schindler's List.
Yeah, I like all the well-hung Jewish men they had.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Like, you can't say that.
I mean, all those Jews are that hung. I mean, come on. I was embarrassed to watch the movie. I was like, it's a lot. It's a lot of swinging dick in this movie.
Watching
right?
Bruno.
That movie was too gay, right? Like when it got to the guy, when it got to him slingshotting off that chair, I was like, I gotta turn this off. Right? Yeah. I love Sacha Baron Cohen. That's all the time we have for today. Swinging dicks.
Swinging dicks.